Start. Mr. Dwivedi, learned counsel appearing on behalf of the appellant, submitted that the university, having regard to the provisions contained in Section 10 of the Act, as also the ordinance making power, could have passed an execution instruction creating a legal fiction that any member of faculty who wants to go abroad without permission of the Vice Chancellor or without obtaining leave would be deemed to have abandoned his service. It was further submitted that, having regard to the fact that the High Court had directed the Executive Council to dispose of the respondent's representation, which having been done by resolution dated 9/1/2003, and the same having been confirmed on 23/3/2003, and the same having not been challenged by the writ petitioners, the impugned judgment cannot be sustained. It was next contended that the High Court admittedly proceeded on the basis that the respondent is guilty of misconduct, and in that view of the matter, no direction for his reinstatement in services without back wages could have been issued, and therefore it was necessary for it to arrive at a finding that the punishment awarded by the university was shockingly disproportionate. In any event, the High Court should have remitted the matter back to the disciplinary authority for imposing appropriate punishments on the respondent. Mr. Jaideep Gupta, learned senior counsel appearing for the respondent, on the other hand, submitted that the university admittedly did not proceed on the basis that the respondent committed an act of misconduct. The question, according to Mr. Gupta, on the aforementioned premise is as to whether the circulars dated 25/3/1998, on the basis whereof the respondent has been held to have abandoned his services, are valid in law, and whether the post-decisional hearing given to the respondent pursuant to the direction of the court can be said to be fair and reasonable. According to the learned counsel, by reason of the impugned circulars, the Vice Chancellors had not been conferred with the power to declare the services of an employee of the university have been abandoned. The circulars are invalid beyond the statute making power under the Act, even if it be held that the said circulars were valid in law. The principles of natural justice were required to be complied with. Determination of the matter fairly and in good faith was furthermore a precondition for exercise of such power. But as would appear from the fact of the present case, the respondent cannot be said to have been fairly dealt with the statutory authorities. Section B thereof deals with the cases of those employees who have overstayed abroad without prior permission for more than 45 days from the date of issue of the notice by the university. Their services would be treated to be abandoned as per the existing rules. The said notification is vague and obscure. It does not take into consideration the situation where a person may leave the campus without obtaining leave. If a person commits the same misconduct by staying within India, although no leave has been obtained, he would not come within the purview thereof, but only if he goes abroad and overstays, the circular letter would come into play, which would mean that for initial stay he had the requisite permission, and only in case of overstay he would be held to have not obtained any prior permission, and only in such an event he would come within the purview of the said provision. In terms of the said notification, no legal fiction is created. Even otherwise, no legal fiction in law can be created by an administrative order.